Role of medical practitioners. In the global pandemic of the novel coronavirus, due to the dedicated efforts of medical practitioners, doctors and nurses, our health and our lives are protected. As the number of infected people increasing rapidly, so-called the crisis of medical collapse, has been reported again and again. Under such circumstances, situations in which all infected people cannot receive intensive care are shown around the world. We will discuss how medical practitioners are required to treat patients' lives. At first, to discussing the legal liability of medical practitioners, we must confirm the relationship with Constitution of Japan. Article 25, subsection 1 provides, all people shall have the right to maintain the minimum standards of wholesome and cultured living. Nation has the right to receive a medical care service. Subsection 2 provides, the state shall promote and extend public health. The state has legal obligation to provide the medical care service. Doctor, public health nurse, and nurses, etc., are the professionals qualified by the state. The people's right to receive medical care and the obligation of medical practitioners are stipulated by laws such as Medical Practitioners Act, Act on Public Health Nurses, Midwives, and Nurses. Next, we will check the provisions. Medical practitioner, public health nurse, midwife, nurse or assistant nurse is a professional certified by state. They need to pass the national examination. About doctor's obligation, Medical Practitioners Act provides these provisions. Article 17 prohibits the medical practice by non-medical person. An invasive act is justified as medical practice only by the medical practitioner. If non-medical person takes an invasive act to the other, it is the injury case. Article 19, subsection 1 provides that medical practitioners cannot refuse the request for examination or treatment without justifiable reasons. It provides the obligation of the medical practitioners to take a medical care. Act on Public Health Nurses, Midwives, and Nurses. Article 37 provides that nurse should use medical equipment, give a person medicine or instructions about medicine, or take any other action that carries the risk of harming a person's health with the attendance of physician or dental practitioners. On the other hand, nurse can provide the emergency first aid treatments. In medical care, ethical code is important. You may heard the Hippocratic Oath stating the obligation and proper conduct of doctors. Even now it is read at the graduate ceremony. It contains, do best not to harm anyone, do not prescribe a deadly drug, nor give advice that may cause death. Operation should be performed by specialists in this art only for the good of patients. Escape from education. Hippocratic Oath has been modernized. This is an example of medical ethics. World Medical Association publishes the duties of physicians. Some duties are relating to the decision at the emergency rescue. Physicians shall always exercise independent professional judgment and maintain the highest standards of professional conduct. Respect a competent patient's right to accept or refuse treatment. be dedicated to providing competent medical service in full professional and moral independence with compassion and respect for human dignity. Strive to use healthcare resources in the best way to benefit the patients and their community. Seek appropriate care and attention if suffers from mental or physical illness. This ethical code of physicians may be referred at the present situation: too much patients, too little medical staff and equipment, the crisis of medical collapse. To decide who can be receive medical care in the intensive care unit.